wrestling debate.
I don't know if you noticed when, taking apart the announce table, he was about to scrape. I guess was it Michael Cole's iPad off the? Yeah. He's like, oh wait a minute, I'm sure this guy. It's probably Michael's. I better not chuck it off the announce table.
Yeah. He'd probably be very pissed off.
And now here's Tyler Willard and Wayne Kirch.
Yes, and speaking of iPads, which Michael Cole might suggest, with the iPad you can get the WWE Network for only $9.99 a month.
Yeah.
Along with the WWE app and download the WWE app which was made really clear last night on Monday Night Raw as we head closer to SummerSlam and as WWE is really pushing for the network to sell. And of course, last week that's when the big what the stock market results came out and
Well, I guess to sum it up there, they only gained, I think it was 30,000 new subscribers since the last one. I think as far as doing the math, they said they gained 160 new people, but they lost around 130 people.
Yeah.
160,000 people lost 130,000. There were people asking them, well, how could you lose subscribers when the 6-month commitment wasn't even up really for anybody? Yeah. And the people said, well, look, I mean, if there's people who pay via PayPal, there's certain ways you can get out of something, even if there's a commitment. Your account can have an insufficient amount of funds, so you can't pay it anymore. So you obviously have unsubscribed. You could just tell your if it's your credit card company or your bank to just block the transaction, which can also pretty much be counted as unsubscribing. I mean, they're just summing everything up in that, but. No, I mean, surprisingly, it shocked people that the stock actually reacted positively in that. I think that to do with more the fact that the company was more prepared than they were in the last quarter. I mean, obviously, they made massive cuts. They actually got rid of the whole entire WWE magazine team, apparently. I don't know if that's the end of the magazine. I mean, it could be. I mean, it's not like print is very popular in general right now.
Yeah.
No, I mean, but... I mean, one of the reasons why a lot of people they probably also say it is because they came up with a new payment plan. Instead of the $9.99 plan for 6 months, you can get a $19.99 plan, but you have no commitment. It's just you can pay $19.99 for 1 month, then you can just unsubscribe. I mean, I think they're trying to attract maybe that way, or people who just want to go to the network to watch a pay-per-view, but don't want the 6-month commitment involved in it. So, I mean, if you just want to watch the Rumble and WrestleMania, you can do that for $19.99. You only really pay $40 then, compared to somebody who paid $60 for the 6-month commitment. So, really, you save money just by doing that. So, that was obviously a way to get new subscribers. Of course, the company's hyping up that they that they're going to start offering network internationally in some countries. I think it was like 100-something countries starting August 12th, right before SummerSlam, nonetheless, too. Yeah. Which is probably why they were also pushing the hell out of it.
Yeah, so next week we'll probably expect more pushing out of that.
Yeah, definitely.
Worldwide,
But, I mean, obviously, one of the countries they mentioned the fact that the UK is not in it. I don't think they're going to get the network till October.
Yeah, I remember they said till October.
I mean, obviously, I think somebody said the reason that is because they might have to negotiate with Sky Sports or something. The British sports channel that they usually broadcast wrestling in at. Because, European pay-per-views work differently than American pay-per-views do. I mean, I don't know. I know that Canada is going to get theirs for like a cable company or something, which got Canadian fans pissed off because apparently it's a cable company that not a whole lot of Canadians are fans of. Yeah. I can relate to that because how many cable companies do Americans don't like in this country either?
Right.
So, but apparently that's to do with Canada. I mean, but I think really the thing that summed it up as well is apparently this company made so many cuts that apparently they actually dropped their break-even point from 1.4 million to now 500,000, which means they are currently we're not currently in the green there. I should say that come next year they will actually be making money then, supposedly, because all the cuts they'll be doing to actually drop the break-even point down to 500,000 or something like that. Yeah. So if they can just maintain the subscription number at where it's at right now, they'll be in the green then pretty much. I don't know how you even as an accountant, I don't know how you go from 1.4 million as you break even to 500,000. But that's what that's what they're saying is what their cuts are going to make. And that shows you how serious they are at making this network work, and how many cuts, and how serious they are about cutting their way, to getting there. And that's pretty much why Wall Street responded in a positive, aspect there. Still doesn't mean the numbers were good. I mean, obviously the numbers got to get higher.
Yeah.
I mean, how did somebody sum it up best here? Probably saying you can't cut your way out of what's clearly a revenue problem.
Yeah.
You can only cut so far until you can't cut anymore. So some of the numbers got to get better. They can't keep going and saying, "Oh, we'll just cut our way out of this scenario here." It's not going to work.
Freaking thing, will you?
Exactly.
So I don't know. I mean, obviously, like I said, Wall Street responded well, and I think the company was I guess happy that stocks did go downhill, but it's not. I wouldn't jump for joy or anything there. They're still in a I guess you could say a danger zone in a way.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah. I mean, obviously with Monday Night Raw, I mean that was kind of your opening in the opening promo with the Authority, the full entourage, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Featuring Randy Orton and Seth Rollins in black suits.
Yeah.
And, well, the Demon Kane, I guess at that point, still dressed up as Demon Kane. I mean, more on that later, I guess. But
yeah.
But yeah, and then of course Triple H and Stephanie, kind of previewing the SummerSlam card. Well, I guess the bulk of it, I guess you could say.
The main matches, I guess.
Basically, yeah, going through the card a little bit, and yeah, like we said, kind of like the John Cena promo a little bit. Well, maybe not. Maybe more like driven to, I guess, was it push the network. You subscribe. It's only $9.99.
Yeah.
That was the key Triple H phrase throughout the night. No, not Plan B or anything like that. It was $9.99. I'm surprised that when they'd show trending now on Twitter, I'm surprised that didn't come up at some point in the night.
No. Yeah.
Especially considering JBL, Michael Cole, and Jerry Lawler started saying it. And,
yeah, that's when it started getting really ridiculous. Especially when they were even starting to joke about it.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean that came up throughout the night. But yeah, I mean obviously the objective there. I mean they're introducing most of the card for SummerSlam, and that's when Roman Reigns came out and basically, I don't want to wait until SummerSlam or I don't know this and that. Randy Orton getting fired up after last week, of course.
Yeah.
As we said in the intro, how the announce table incident with Roman Reigns getting RKO'd twice on the announce table, second time breaking, and then so Roman Reigns is back. I took everything from the Viper or whatever last week, and here I am standing here and but so I guess what we kind of got then was the match we were sort of supposed to get last week, but in this in this case a last man standing match between Roman Reigns and the Demon Kane.
Yeah.
So I mean another good way to start off Raw there as far as matches goes. I noticed this night on Raw seemed pretty match heavy, I guess you could say.
Really? Because it felt really network heavy.
They were pushing the network obviously a lot, but there weren't too many other segments really. I mean, other than
really? Adam Rose staring at a mirror to
that was
network movie.
Yeah, I mean, a couple short little backstage segments.
And define match heavy, Tyler, because I saw a lot of 1 minute, 2 minute matches that really they did. We had Fandango come out with Hornswoggle as his dance partner. That's hilarious.
No, I didn't. Well, no, I don't even know.
Dolph Ziggler and Cesaro in a 2 minute match. When you have Cesaro and Ziggler, you think you're gonna get maybe a show stealer match. You get 2 minutes.
Yeah, that was disappointing. But I mean, in the beginning, it was a little more match. I mean, obviously you had the beat the clock challenge thing that was going on. That was announced. Fortunately with that, they were a little, I guess a little more unpredictable when it came to Seth Rollins facing Heath Slater with Dean Ambrose.
What do you mean unpredictable? I knew Dean Ambrose was going to come out and distract him. The writing was on the wall, Tyler.
Well, I didn't necessarily. I mean, I figured maybe he'd interfere with it, but I didn't think he'd come out and play with his briefcase and fill it with soda and stuff like that. I would have expected maybe he'd just interfere at some point, maybe
Why? Why?
towards the end, maybe
Why would he interfere? And when he knows that means Rollins wins, it means he get the faster time, and he'll
no,
get.
I mean interfere as in distract him and this
He
and that.
did,
But
and I'm not complaining about that.
I would have thought maybe
it actually was a more entertaining distraction than that. But no, I saw the right on the Raw. Like, everyone's going to come out and Rollins get distracted, and it's going to be a lucky win for Slater.
Yeah, well,
Even though you've been paying attention to Slater, he's been getting kind of mini push.
yeah. Well, I would have thought too that Ambrose would have beaten Del Rio quicker than I'm surprised that actually went to 15 minutes. But yeah, I mean, but the thing too, like Rob Van Dam was originally supposed to be the opponent, and then the Authority, throws one of their curveballs out of nowhere, like he's Slater, so.
Even though Heath Slater eliminated Cesaro in that Battle Royal for the College Championship there, but apparently we're just ignoring that now, or it's because Cesaro's just not a playmaker anymore.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I mean that's a disappointment. And then you can look at last week too. Cesaro had this great match with John Cena of all people. Well, I mean Cesaro, given the time, Cesaro can always have a great match, really. But yeah, I mean and of course Cesaro ditching Paul Heyman. Well, maybe not. Maybe ditching's not the word, but I don't know. Leaving Paul Heyman and going solo too.
Another failed Paul Heyman guy there. I mean, they keep this up. Why even bother?
Yeah.
It's clear that even if you have Paul Heyman on your side, it doesn't mean jack.
Yeah, it seemed, and too, it seems like when Brock Lesnar comes back for a pay-per-view match, and so that that's when the emphasis shifts on him too, and it's like it just doesn't work really. Like.
Well, they get made because they book Brock Lesnar like this beast, and they can't, and everybody else they don't.
And everybody knows he's going to come back.
And the words of Paul Heyman here, he can talk the talk he wants about Brock Lesnar. If Brock doesn't win matches, doesn't win them decisively, what he's talking doesn't mean shit then.
Yeah. So therefore,
So
shenanigans at
example A, Curtis Axel. Who took Curtis Axel seriously?
Right. I mean, look.
Honestly, the character was dead when he had 3 matches with Triple H, and all ended in one of the most clusterfuck finishes I ever saw in a match.
Yeah.
Cesaro had potential, I thought. I thought even Ryback had potential there, but those is what he died. Well, I blame it on Ryback himself when he almost killed CM Punk to a degree, and you're kind of being an asshole about it. Then you go on these Twitter rants as well. I blame him for his failure. Cesaro, I don't know what the hell happened with Cesaro. I don't know how you go from slamming Big Show in a Battle Royal, Hulk Hogan style, to now you're tapping out to Jack Swagger. The guy who you left to go on a single career in that, and all of a sudden Jack Swagger, the one-hit wonder, is more over than you.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I was disappointed in how they used Cesaro, really. But yeah, I mean, you had the Beat the Clock challenge. You had, obviously, SmackDown, you had AJ Lee getting pushed off the stage by Paige. But that, as far as, Divas storylines goes, that's kind of secondary to the Stephanie McMahon and Nikki Bella.
Yeah, which sounds like it's gonna be the main. It almost feels like it's the main event.
The past couple weeks,
it's the main event at SummerSlam is this match here.
Yeah,
it's not going to be. I mean,
because this week you didn't have Lesnar and Cena there live, so I mean, I guess they figured this contract signing for this week will kind of close the show again, and you had Triple H out there. I thought it was a little intense as usual, I guess you would say, between Stephanie McMahon and Brie Bella. Well, both Bellas out there, and then you had that interesting, I guess, spot at the end with Triple H, kind of trapping Nikki with that table in the corner, and so that was interesting. Stephanie McMahon breaking out the pedigree.
I mean, like I said, it was a good segment. It was up there with the John Cena, Brock Lesnar, and the Dean Ambrose shenanigans and that, which I thought was, for once, it made a distraction pinfall actually entertaining in that. But those 3 segments don't say what was pretty much a shitty show.
Yeah, I mean, the Roman Reigns match in Kane was pretty good. I mean, not every day you get a last man standing match on Raw. And speaking of Kane, I mean, I guess it's questionable now with him. I mean, handing back his demon mask, I guess, to the kind of the Authority there at that one.
Yeah, I guess he just had to leave after all the hype of the network. I guess he got sick of it too.
Yeah, so I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. I guess what the future holds for Kane, really.
Yeah.
Maybe he's taking time off, or I don't know, but
Maybe he's finally retiring. Maybe the writing finally got on the wall finally.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, but I don't know. I think
Especially as you have Rob Van Dam just walk, just go out
for
to
the
the
show,
ring
yeah.
and then walk back and just like
yeah, I'm sure that pleased the crowd there, the University of Texas crowd that was there. You want to talk about another thing that probably pleased them? Obvious sarcasm here. Is when Damian Sandow came out.
Yeah.
Apparently as Jim Ross, and then
no.
nope.
Well, that's the Oklahoma school like fight song for the football team.
Right. Yeah.
Which you're right. It was Jim Ross's theme music in that, but Jim Ross doesn't even have a contract with the company anymore, so I don't know why.
I mean, that fools some people, obviously, because you hear the ovation, and
so Sandow comes out as a Oklahoma Sooner, pretty much.
Yeah,
a Boomer Sooner, pretty much. And then that means you have Mark Henry come back, who's a native Texan. I don't know if he ever went to the University of Texas, but he wore a Texas University T-shirt.
Yeah.
Squash and best wish future endeavors in Damian Sandow's future.
Yeah. Yeah, another guy that they dropped the ball with. We continue to sit here and wonder why WWE has really dropped the ball like that with a guy with potential, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But so I mean, you had Bo Dallas in his usual time slot, I think, for at 10:20, 10:30.
Yeah, pretty much.
I guess get his revenge on R-Truth. Obviously, it's pretty obvious in recent weeks that they're reestablishing that Bo Dallas is a heel. Making him a little more vengeful. Getting revenge and attacking R-Truth after the match and everything like that. So I think for a little while, he was getting a babyface reaction, and they're trying to trying to reassert that this guy's a heel. So, but yeah, I mean I think the highlight of the night, was the guys that weren't there. I mean, it was
Brock Lesnar, John
the
Cena.
video package. Yeah, I mean, and the thing is too,
and Paul Heyman, who already I think it was on Fight Network already, he did some interview online, and he just said he thinks it's one of the best promo works that Brock's ever done, and he said even John's ever done. And he said one of the reasons why it was great because it was all unscripted, didn't involve WWE writers. It was just them talking, and pretty much just telling a story via just communicating in a candid interview, pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, it's interesting too because you see what John Cena comes out on Raw and he's normally fired up and loud and but then you get a different tone out of Cena, kind of sitting, low pitched voice and everything like that. So kind of talking straight from the heart, I guess you could say. But yeah, it was kind of it made me laugh because it felt a lot like it reminded me of 2 years ago, at least definitely on Brock Lesnar's end, kind of setting Cena up. I'm gonna leave him in a pile of blood, urine and vomit. So that was.
Well, I mean, Brock did a candid interview during the Punk feud too. I mean.
Yeah.
His best interviews so far have been these candid interviews. He just sits down.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, it's good.
It feels more legitimate, more real.
Well, I don't know if this is because during his UFC career, this is how they do interviews for hyping up fights. Just have the fighters sit down and they just talk trash to each other in candid interviews, pretty much.
Yeah.
And I don't think just think, okay, maybe Brock's just comfortable doing it that way instead of getting on a microphone out in the middle of the squared circle. Maybe it's because WWE writing sucks right now.
Yeah.
And when you have to just give these guys a chance to just tell a story on their own, they can just knock it out of the ballpark.
Right.
Much.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the thing too. That's as far as talking goes, it's the greatest opportunity for Brock when he's in these candid interviews and everything, and you can just kind of look at the camera and say all these lines. Tear John Cena apart limb from limb, etc. What was the one line he said? If I didn't leave the company, John Cena would be buying boxes of Fruity Pebbles instead of Kind of. It's funny how that The Rock brings that up a few years ago, and it's still circulating a little bit. But yeah, it kind of it reminded me a lot of 2 years ago when the John Cena feud began. And they even showed footage of that feud as well.
I just laughed though at a company that is that they advertise themselves as a sport pretty much, and you know when you do interviews like this, it's a sport, but then you do shit on the show that comes off as entertainment. There,
Yeah, like
you can't
Adam
have
Rose.
both. I'm so sick of this company here saying we're a legitimate sport to like Vince McMahon coming on and saying no, we're movies. Raw is like a 3-hour movie every week, pretty much. You can't have both.
Yeah, like the Adam Rose segment this past week.
Yeah,
every week
promoting a WWE Studios movie that's coming out on DVD that probably set a lot of people's mind in that.
Yeah,
and I don't know what the hell was supposed to be so funny about it. Oh, he's in a suit. Oh, he's got a pen. You know,
I agree.
Yeah, every week. I mean, there's always like 1 or 2 times, like this past week they're they have the Brock Lesnar, Cena candidate, and then a couple minutes later we're watching Adam Rose, looking in this mirror segment, and I mean, I don't know, it's just one of those things. You got the whole Damien Sandow coming out and being essentially being wasted out there and squashed by Mark Henry, who hasn't been around for like 3 or 4 months now, and
that's the point. I mean, he came back. He came back. I don't know if they're gonna do anything with him.
Probably not.
Probably not. It feels like this is coming. Let's go back to you.
I think, I mean,
which maybe sums up the whole Rob Van Dam thing too. Maybe this company finally wants to get behind Heath Slater because he actually looked very legitimate out there. Heath Slater, he actually he wet his hair, so he didn't have like that Wendy's look that people always made fun of him for.
Yeah.
He actually, I mean, it would make sense. He's one of the youngest guys on the roster, and after he put over how many old veterans made it look like $1 million again during that whole set for Raw 1000, I think he deserves a mini push. At least he kind of a U.S. championship, because God knows those titles aren't worth jack pretty much.
Yeah. Now, was it just me, or does he still come out to the 3MB theme song?
Yeah, 3-man band. Yeah.
It's funny, it's kind of funny. He comes out, we're a 3-man band and 2 of us are missing, and because I noticed that a few weeks ago he came out to him like, wait a minute, those guys were cut, like a month ago. So that's I don't know, that's maybe something the WWE wants to get up on. I don't know. I noticed that they're something they are getting up on. They're getting around to the Seth Rollins T-shirts and Roman Reigns T-shirts, as far as now people can actually officially buy them.
Yep.
I don't know if you saw them. With the Seth Rollins one, it is don't sell out, buy in T-shirt, or I don't know. And then Roman Reigns, what is it? It's like, one versus, I don't know. I forget what it said, but so.
Does it have the word "believe" that? Because it really feels like that's the.
It should, yeah. I don't know.
That's a slogan that apparently.
Yeah.
I mean, I see posters. It's all I believe in Roman Reigns and all that stuff.
Yeah, you see like sign fans in there. Yeah, I believe in Roman Reigns. I see that one a lot. So. So yeah, I don't know, but yeah, I mean, other than that, I mean, we got, this coming week Friday on SmackDown. I guess Dean Ambrose is going to show or tell us, the stipulation for their match at SummerSlam.
Yeah, and I'll bet the bank that it's going to be that the Money in the Bank is going to be on the line. He teased the hell out of that, or the distraction. What else is it going to be? That's it. Money in the Bank's on the line.
Yeah. Now, do you fear that if they did that in Seth Rollins' law, do you fear that? Because I mean, I don't. If they took the briefcase away from Rollins, you wonder, and then like considering how he won it too, and he's been losing a little bit lately, like most Money in the Bank winners.
That's what I'm saying. That's not out of the ordinary. Most Money in the Bank winners go on a losing streak.
Yeah.
I think it's just to build the surprise when they cash in, pretty much.
Yeah. You want, I mean, not that I'd complain if Ambrose had the Money in the Bank briefcase, but
it would make sense if Brock Lesnar was champion in that.
It would, yeah, because then you have a baby face, and obviously, again, I mean, at some point, Roman Reigns is gonna be in that title picture too.
But as right now, Dean Ambrose is the most over guy.
Yeah.
When I heard Dean Ambrose's name, name got a way louder pop than when I heard Roman Reigns get.
Yeah, I mean...
Granted, at least when Roman Reigns talked to the microphone, you could hear him the whole way now, so...
Yeah, well, yeah, he was
hopefully
yelling.
that got fixed now.
He had to get... Yeah. I mean, he was doing more yelling on the, you know,
It's
one of
actually
those
kind of
in the crowd.
It's actually
You know?
kind of funny when you had Dave Bautista do an interview promoting Guardians of the Galaxy, which is a very awesome film, by the way. And he asked a question about the Shield, and he said about how the company's pushing Reigns right now, and he said Reigns is good and everything. I mean, I think all of them are good in that, but Ambrose is the moneymaker. He said he's got the personality, he's got the mic skills, he's got that believability. I think that he has the crowd behind him. He can get the crowd like right behind him pretty much, and he's entertaining as hell. He says he thinks Reigns lacks personality. Pretty much. But he doesn't blame WWE for pushing him. He's that generic guy that they always like. He's this big guy.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I just find it funny how Dave Bautista
says that
is the one saying this.
Yeah, I mean,
this like the guy who probably got over head of Randy Orton because he was the bigger guy and all that. Even though people would say Orton was the golden child at the beginning, we've had an evolution pretty much. Yeah. But yet he's the one that got the massive push in the end.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, Roman Reigns. I mean, personality or whatever. I mean, he has his own gimmick and it works. I mean, Ambrose is different, obviously, and what he's doing is working, obviously. Yeah. Rollins the heel. For the most part, I mean, I think he's done a fine job. I mean, it just depends. I mean, hopefully they don't drop the ball with him or whatever. Yeah. Because WWE doesn't have a tendency to do that with some people. Obviously, we've been talking about in this show. But yeah, I mean, I think we can all agree that each guy from the Shield, now 2 months after the breakup, essentially the heel turn or whatever, Seth Rollins turned on the Shield. Mm-hmm. I mean, each guy is doing their part, doing fine on their own, I think, and yeah, I mean, too. I mean, part of the thing is they don't, they're not pushing anybody too fast. I mean, Roman Reigns, I mean, they're he's not winning the championship yet or anything like that. So nobody's getting pushed too fast here, really. So I think they're doing a fine job. I mean, they've done a fine job without world championships so far, and they're more over than any other guy on the roster. It's, so. Really that's what it comes
I
down
just found it hilarious that Dave Bautista just says no,
Right.
It was me. I would have pushed Ambrose, just because he thinks Ambrose is more ready than Roman Reigns is right now. Yeah,
well, definitely, like Ambrose has all the tools, and I mean they all kind of have all the tools. I mean Roman Reigns, I mean maybe he's not the greatest on the mic, but maybe they keep it short and sweet with him. Yeah. They play to his strengths, I guess, in the with what they have him say, and and it works most of the time. Mm-hmm. I mean, nobody's complaining when he's coming out through the crowd, has a few short things to say, and then boom, you got a 20-minute last man standing match with Kane, and so yeah, I mean that's that's that right now. So far with the card, obviously we have the Roman Reigns, Randy Orton, the Ambrose and Seth Rollins. It'll be interesting to see what stipulation Ambrose comes up with. If I mean, obviously, I think we would expect that he's gonna want the briefcase on the line. And then I mean, obviously, you got the Nikki Bella and the Stephanie McMahon match, which should be interesting. Yeah. You have obviously John Cena, Brock Lesnar, the Divas Championship match again. Another rematch,
which has been a fine job. I think the only problem is that when you have Stephanie and Brie as the main,
kind of overshadowing,
it overshadows the Page AJ.
When they're having the contract, they're having a contract signing and arrests and this and that. Yeah.
No, but I mean, you brought up the whole AJ thing. I mean, like one of the funniest things about Paige was that when she was a heel, and as that she's like sitting on like the stage after she does it there, and as AJ's getting carted off, and she's saying "Oh, she's fine," she's fine, like the typical heel. Yeah. I mean, this could be a few that really could get pushed, could really turn the Divas division around, maybe. Yeah. Because you got two Divas that actually are serious about kicking each other's asses pretty much.
Yeah, you see, and Paige in that backstage interview, you see a little more personality out of her too, kind of skipping away there at the end of the.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't know, but so yeah, I mean, definitely.
The problem here, though, is once again, it's this stupid CM Punk chant, which they
that broke out. Yeah, well, at the end there was one that broke out in that don't know if you remember.
Seriously, I'm getting sick and tired of that.
I don't like. And what did it have to do with anything there? Like,
I don't know, Tyler. What
There
chance
was-
have to do with anything? I think the CM Punk is going to be the new what chance.
I mean, like it didn't.
There's no point. They just do it. They
Yeah.
do it because they want to be
But like
assholes in the
it
crowd.
wasn't.
Pretty much.
But like it wasn't happening at all. Like during the night. Like a lot of times it breaks out when
Actually-
AJ Lee is out there.
yeah.
Which everybody knows.
Which
why.
I don't get either. There, are you trying to punish the
Yeah.
wife of?
I mean,
this
that's
is
the
the
thing.
man's wife here.
But,
people. You're punishing her now. I mean, because I don't understand when you do these chants. I can understand why you want to do it when Triple H is out there, or somebody else is out there that you feel is the reason why this man left here. But why you do it while his wife's out there? Like, is the whole point of the chant now to piss CM Punk off to the point where he has to respond to you people?
Yeah.
He just has to come out and say, fuck all of you then. I don't give a shit about what you guys say. I'm done.
Yeah.
I wish Punk would do that. I wish Punk would go on his Facebook and Twitter and just call out all these fuckers in the arena pretty much who just can't move on. They just can't move on.
Yeah.
I've moved on. I have moved on here. I have a freaking CM Punk shirt still in there that there's days I'm sick and tired of staring at because I'm sick and tired of hearing this guy and fans saying, we got screwed over, really. He left the company on his own will.
Yeah.
Let's get it right. He was not fired. He left. And honestly, he should be lucky the company didn't sue him for breach of contract. They could do that, probably no legal right there.
Yeah.
The fact that he could just say, that he could just go up to a boss and say, yeah, I'm done. I'm done. I don't want to work anymore.
Yeah.
Or it's like, no, but you got a contract obligation for 6 months though. I don't care. I don't want to work here anymore. I'm not happy.
Yeah. I think it was, he's not as hungry at this stage of his career, really. And I think, had he been hungrier, had he been, younger, maybe he would have been more inclined to, really sit down with the higher powers of WWE and work. But now, I figure here it's like,
he's done.
Like, I'm done. I'm not as hungry as soon I was going to retire anyways.
I listened to him on the podcast at Comic-Con, the Nerdist podcast and that.
Yeah.
And the only time wrestling got brought up really was about what's your favorite 80s wrestling star and all that.
Yeah.
That was about it. And even Chris Hardwick, like even said, like before the podcast, he was like, yeah. I know there's a lot of people like on the internet said, oh, Punk's interview. Maybe there's a chance Chris Hardwick can ask him questions. It's Chris just like, no, I'm not going to ask him that because he's my friend. He's a comic book fan. It's a comic based, what Comic-Con for crying out loud. Where they announce all these comic book movies and so on and talk about comics. We're not going to talk about freaking wrestling.
Yeah.
Especially he doesn't want to talk about wrestling and that, So it blows my mind here where it's like this. I don't get the chance anymore. I just don't. I got it in the beginning, but now it's just ridiculous. It's the what chant now.
Yeah.
It's just annoying. It serves no purpose.
Yeah.
Except just to be an asshole in the crowd.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't know where people get, still I listen to like Don Tony and Kevin Castle and it's like, oh, you can, when he says he's never ever coming back, you'd sense the sarcasm in his voice. And it's like, come on, like, stop, fooling yourself and, just move on from the whole CM Punk thing.
This whole,
I
I really think he's done. I don't get this.
Yeah.
I don't get this whole wood. He was being sarcastic. Maybe he wasn't in the interview. Maybe he's being sarcastic about the fact that he's getting sick and tired that he feels he has to answer this question to the people about, oh, are you done? Are you really done with wrestling? Are you sure you're done with wrestling?
Yeah. And I mean, everybody, people look at like the CM Punk DVD and, I'm not going to change anything by sitting on the couch. And they say like, oh, well, he says that and then he leaves the company and it's like, well, keep in mind here.
I said that too. It's pretty hypocritical, especially coming from a cut. I'm just saying, like I said, my main argument with him is this: is that if he gets jobs now, he gets offers. He got those offers because this company actually pushed him. Finally, I don't care. In his mind, he thinks, oh, it was a bit too late to do that and all that. They finally pushed the guy.
Yeah,
and because of that, he's getting all these offers now. He's getting name recognition now.
Yeah.
The reason why he can work with Chris Hardwick on Nerdist because Chris Hardwick's a wrestling fan and knows, and is a fan of his wrestling work in that.
Yeah.
But, Chris also said, I met the guy in real life and I like the guy and we have a lot in common and so on.
Yeah.
As far as talking about comics and all that. So, but he would not get an opportunity if he didn't get promoted heavily in that company finally.
Yeah.
Now he could say, oh, they should have done that all along. Yeah, well, maybe if Austin would have came in as that 316 character, no, he came as the ringmaster and then we had to work our way up to eventually just saying, Austin 316 I just whipped your ass in that. You don't get anything you want all the time.
Yeah. So, and yeah, I mean, going back to that line in the DVD, I mean, I think that spoke a little more to like 2011 and 2010.
Yeah.
Like it's not like CM Punk just like sat there and like made the whole DVD himself. WWE and they're
Yeah.
gonna want to
Although,
fluff it up and make it.
although he did say like he had control over like
Yeah,
what
yeah.
scenes would be put in, what scenes would be put kind of as like
Right,
special
yeah.
features. The music. He said he had influence on the music. He said the only bands that would be on there were bands that he would actually listen to.
Right. Yeah.
Not these WWE sponsored bands that he, in his words, just suck in his mind. Or just some he would not listen to these bands. So why the hell did he in my DVD? It's supposed to be about me.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, and also going back to the SummerSlam card, I guess we forgot to mention the the usual Jack Swagger and Rusev segment. Now becoming
I call him the one-hit wonder Jack Swagger, and it's because as soon as this feud ends, there's nowhere for this character to go.
Yeah, I mean,
there's nowhere for it to go. Here.
Yeah, I mean, given the whole USA Russia thing,
yeah.
I mean,
there's nowhere for this character to go.
After that, yeah, I mean, they're gonna have to figure something out. So if he beats
Rusev, people say big things for Swagger. How? Where's this character going after this as a babyface? Where?
Yeah.
It's like it's the Kurt Angle character where he's Olympic hero and all that there, and that's his gimmick here. Now the whole gimmick here is USA better than Russia, pretty much.
Yeah.
But he can't do that against every performer he's taking on.
Yeah, and of course, last night they point out how it was Barack Obama's birthday too, and they have Lana singing it in Russia to him. Yeah.
They probably still have to play royalties because you can't sing Happy Birthday for free anymore.
Yeah. So.
I forget the court case because I remember that was a court case not too long ago where somebody actually like sued about that and like said like I own the rights to Happy Birthday, and if anyone wants to sing Happy Birthday in any TV shows or anything like that, I should be getting some money out of that deal.
Yeah.
And they actually won the case, which shocked people because just like, so wait, does that mean if you sing it at home now, we got to pay the guy a check?
Yeah.
Like it's no longer a free deal anymore.
Yeah. And then of course the card, I guess for some reason, if you think about it, is basically complete, give or take maybe 1.
Yeah,
2 matches.
Yeah.
Obviously,
I mean, I'm sure it's gonna be a pre-show
rematch with Y2J and Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, a little disappointing. I feel like Eric Rowan and Luke Harper are a little lost in the shuffle now after the great tag team feud they had with the Usos.
I'm very confident though that when Bray wins now, it's a stronger win.
Yeah.
Especially when you don't have Rowan and Harper there.
Yeah, which he could use since I mean, the only pay-per-view win he's had in recent memory was the one against John Cena, where there was plenty of interference and so
well that's the thing. Plenty of interference by Harper and Rowan, but they got their asses kicked by John Cena. And once again, the thing that beat John Cena was a 10-year-old kid or an 8-year-old kid standing in front of a cage door. And John Cena just standing there like oh shit, I don't know what I'm supposed to do here now. It's like, shove him out of the way.
Yeah.
Or just. You don't want to shove him. You can just pick him up, John, and just put him down on the floor somewhere.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe take one of his wristbands and put it around the kid. I don't know, but
I don't know. I mean, it was creative and that, but looking back at it, it was a stupid finish.
Yeah,
it was creative. I'll give him that. It was a very creative way to end a match, but it was a stupid finish.
Yeah,
because you tell me that John Cena, big John Cena, is intimidated by a 10-year-old kid.
Yeah.
And there's no way for him to exit the door without, I mean, it's really saying, John Cena's a baby. He's not going to push him. Okay, pick him up then. He can carry him out and walk out and hit, No, let's just stand there and just be like, oh, God, he's singing. He's got the whole one in his hand in that.
Yeah. Other than that, in the tag team world, I mean.
Well, that's the thing there, too. The Usos, I think, are going to be feuding with this new Nation team. Which were no-show.
No-shows, yeah.
Which, if they were smart with that gimmick, they would come on. You would have Xavier Woods come on the mic and say, I think it's shameful of the three of us, for a specific reason, obviously. Like, you must have just come out and say it there. WWE is clearly racist. How dare they not have the 3 African-American talent on the card here?
Yeah.
Or even feature on a show. But we gotta know, and if Xavier Woods is smart, he could say, But they had to promote Adam Rose and doing a shitty,
Yeah,
like what you want to get it real, go there. It's like, oh, we don't have time for the show, but Adam Rose does, and Fandango does, and Michael Cole promoting the network does, but we don't get any time on the show.
Yeah.
And Xavier Woods going, gee, I wonder why. I wonder why it's you.
Yeah.
I mean, because you want to get this character over as a heel stable like the original Nation. That's how you push it then.
Yeah. Yeah. And as far as other guys in the, Ryback and Curtis Axel, they continue to go nowhere. Stardust and Goldust, continue to just be, a bore, really. And
I don't know where they're going with those gimmicks.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
Because all they ever face has been Ryback and Curtis Axel.
Yeah. They beat them like three times
I'm trying to figure out why Ryback still has this belief here. Oh, we can beat these guys.
Yeah.
We can finally beat these guys.
Yeah.
They want to beat Goldust and Stardust so bad right now. But
Yeah.
I don't. I mean, at least they're wrestling a match now. I mean, instead of doing those weird backstage segments right there, where
Yeah.
it looks like that Stardust is on angel dust and all that, and
Yeah.
they're just like talking out of their mind pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's amazing. But
Like I said, I told you, Tyler, I was so close to turning off changing the channel so many times. And if it was Monday Night Football, I probably would have.
oh well, yeah. I mean,
I probably would have changed the channel. If Monday Night Football was on. I definitely would have changed the channel if Monday Night Football was on.
Yeah.
So that's a company. I mean, this is what the company's going to keep doing, promoting here. I'm not going to lie. There's somebody who brought us up here. It says, you know what? Why don't we just unsubscribe just to piss these people off here? Give them a culinary. Teach them a lesson here.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so easy probably to unsubscribe and resubscribe like for Netflix and all that. You're like a long, existing user and so on. Like you can easily unsubscribe, but then renew like a month later or something like that. Like you could probably do W Network once your 6 months are up in that.
Yeah.
And I was talking after that show. I was generally thinking about doing that just to piss them off.
That's an explanation. That's all.
Because maybe if the numbers are low, maybe they'll learn a lesson not to push the hell out of the network so much.
Yeah. Hopefully next week, I guess.
Like I said, and I'm not saying that they should push the network. I'm not saying that. But it gets to a point where we're self-promoting stuff. It just sounds ridiculous.
Yeah, yeah.
And especially when you have the commentators laughing their asses off.
JBL writing on a piece of paper.
Yeah, exactly. Like when they don't even take their promotion seriously.
Yeah.
They look at it as ridiculous. It's like, why are you even saying it?
Yeah. They have now. I mean, they had the interesting ads, like commercial breaks at times where, they'd show they'd have The Rock talking. They'd show history. Those were pretty good, but. Yeah, but when you're wasting time on air, just too much talking about it, yeah.
Well, that's the thing. What did it show about the entire night?
Yeah.
It started, you start off with the opening, segment, and it turned into a joke eventually. Like even Triple H is like,
you see this match for just $9.99, and yeah.
I mean, even in the beginning, it's like it's like, yes, I know this is a soft plug, so I'm just gonna take it like this is the stupidest idea in the world, pretty much.
Yeah.
He even got the crowd chanting at the end, $9.99 that, because you knew, oh clearly, $9.99 in that. Yeah. But it's like I don't know what they find so hilarious about the numbers. I don't know what they find so hilarious about promoting the network, because like I said, a lot of people could just unsubscribe all of a sudden. Next thing you know, I don't know how Vince McMahon's gonna be laughing about when he sees the new numbers.
Yeah, so yeah, hopefully, I guess we got the go home show already next week on, as far as Raw and SmackDown goes. We got SmackDown this Friday. I don't know. We'll see what this. I mean, see if Ambrose picks something other than the briefcases on the line or whatever. But hopefully, next week you should have Lesnar and Cena both back, in person. And we'll see, see what goes down, and hopefully they can
probably a contract signing.
Yeah, hopefully they can put together maybe a stronger show. Less fooling around, really.
Yeah.
When you talk about some of the time they wasted with, Adam Rose and this and that.
Yeah.
So, we'll be back talk about that next week and preview the SummerSlam card, which is pretty much all in place, but we'll see next week what they add to it.
Mm-hmm.
And then discuss that right here in the Great Wrestling Debate as always. So thanks for tuning in.